How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. So I'm going to kind of pick up where I left off with the one earlier from today. And yeah, start planting some stuff. I did play around with the lava a little bit, as you can see here. I don't know. I like the lava, but if I'm going to keep it, I think I'm definitely going to have to change out this corruption. But let's get down to business. I did do a little bit more hunting for exotic earth yams, and I feel like I accomplished the near impossible. I managed to find 2 on Circopus. So a good thing to know is that you can hunt these things down with just an exotic earth yam in your atlas. So, and that's how I found these. Strangely enough, when I found the first one, I put the seed into the atlas and it showed up absolutely nothing, but I put the earth yam back in there and headed to like one of the other hotspots. I managed to find another one. So you might not be able to trust the seeds if you have one seed to actually put into an atlas. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. But I've managed to find like 3 hotspots for earth yams, and one of them was a spineback plant, and then the other 2 were the actual wild crops to get the seeds. But each one did give me 3 seeds. That's with maximum luck. And so yeah, I can plant 6 of these crops, and naturally I have them optimized to make yet more seeds. So let's see here. Looks like everything's good. So yeah, let's get along with what do we want to plant next? Ooh, yeah, we can work on maybe getting some of these set up. The thing is we might, let's see here, compact copper, compact iron. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Doesn't, okay, so it doesn't have like a favorite soil or anything. Let's see here. Oh, increases yield near amber and water. So yeah, we might, I don't know if we'll be able to get the seed yield up to at least 100% on these, so that might be kind of problematic, but we can see how far we get here. But it does like to be near water, and for seed, we need compact iron, which theoretically I have some compact iron laying around somewhere. Let's see here. I haven't really made a great way to get down to that lower area just yet. But let's see here, compact iron. I'm in the process of like moving everything around, so there we go. There's some compact iron. And let's see here. Does it like to be, I think it likes to, yeah, it does like to be next to tilled soil, so we can just basically plant this in any kind of tilled anything. So I think we have ample supply of peaty soil, so I guess we'll do that. And yeah, I suppose we can do, oh, how's it going, damaged? And oh, disarmed soldier, welcome. So I think, yeah, it looks like I have a workaround for the chat not working. I basically just have to use the web version of the restream chat. So it's very nice. I see damages on Twitch and soldiers on YouTube. So good to know those 2 are working. Had a bit of technical difficulties with the first stream, so. But yeah, I figured we actually would do some planting this time around, now that we actually have some seeds. And I did manage to find some exotic earth yam bulbs, so got those planted and optimized for making more seeds. Sadly, the highest you can get is 10% chance to get an extra seed, so 100% of the time you'll get the 1 seed back with only a 10% chance to get a second, so. But slowly but surely, we'll eventually expand our crop that way. And, you know, particularly if they add like lush exo worlds, then that might help a lot with getting some seeds. But I guess me and Chase will have to check this farming stuff out. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, even if you're not really into farming, just all the other stuff that's added with the placeable fluids and whatnot. So now you can basically forge a special tool that will break water or really any fluid into a placeable version. So you can place it just like blocks. I have to be careful of lava. They will burn torches, they'll scorch grass, burn up wood. I did a little test here just to make sure that corruption in my spark coils wouldn't get burnt up when I placed the lava over here. I really need to make like a ramp or something, but so that's kind of what I always intended to do with this, whatever you want to call this thing right here. If I'm going to keep the lava, though, I need to change out that corruption. That didn't look quite right. And I'll probably bring the water back. I've kind of grown attached to it. No, Snoozy's beacon expired? Oh man, that sucks. That makes me sick. I mean, I don't know. I like starting over in games, but that doesn't mean I want to lose everything by accident. You know, when it's my idea, it's a little bit different. But, you know, the one silver lining, though, is like everything is a heck of a lot cheaper than it has ever been before. So, you know, if you're going to be buying stuff to replace, you know, to get back up on your feet, it's going to be way easier than it was in the previously, but still kind of a kick in the teeth. She had 12 weeks left. Let's see here. Yeah, she missed a month of Blink Club and it expired the same day. Oh, yeah. Wish they sent an email. Yeah, they mentioned that they would have an email system eventually that would kind of give you warning of such things, but it just hasn't been implemented yet, I guess. Always something more important to work on, I suppose. But that seems like that's a pretty important thing because, like, oh, you might want to come back to Boundless, but knowing you have to start all over is kind of runs you off or gives you pause. Let's see here. So, well, I guess this would work for more earth yams. I was trying to kind of sponge off of this water right here, but for doing the cargo nuts, it needs the compacted iron. So I guess we'll just go ahead. Yeah, we can just place packed iron over here. Just kind of start over. And I could make these 4 wide, but my plan is I have a really low damage AoE axe that I think I'm going to use that for harvesting. So I'll just come over here and just, you know, 9 crops at a time harvest all this stuff. And hopefully it's a topaz axe, so it's going to have a lot of durability, the lowest damage you can get on a gem weapon, plus it has the AoE boon, so that reduces the damage even more. And I set up a rudimentary farming spec that has like no power, no shovel axe skills or anything, doesn't have the damage epic. So in other words, I'll be doing the least amount of damage I possibly can, and hopefully it won't like go ahead and break the soil. It shouldn't, especially since it's going to be the wrong tool, but we'll see. But you know, I know a lot of people are going to want, or talking about setting their farms up to like the most compact or the most crops in a per plot sort of thing, or which I can understand, but to me, I want to optimize for convenience. I'm going to plant a lot more crops if it's easy to do so than I would otherwise. But then again, I'm not hurting for plots or anything, so compressed farms. Let's see here. Yeah, it's an opportunity for the devs to remain in contact with the players. Oh, absolutely, with the email warnings. Like, oh, by the way, your beacon's expiring. Oh, and we have this shiny new patch you might want to check out. You know, they could pack all kinds of extra information in those emails and not, like, you know, spam people. But that's a cool thing, is like I'm just holding down the mouse button and it only tills when there's actually something to till, which I really appreciate. The only problem is they did change it up to where the tiller will harvest crops. So if you accidentally till a crop, then you dig it back up, which isn't a big deal. You still get the seed back, but if it has already grown a little bit, you lose your progress. But, you know, again, not that big of a deal. Just till everything and then plant and be good. So let's pull out our hard nuts. Where do I want to put them? I need more action bar slots. Let's see here. Let's put 6 for now. So we got the seed yield up to 95%. I don't think there's anything more we can really do for these guys to make them happy until we get amber. And we can't get amber until they add exoworlds. So, okay. I guess it's not too hard to find the card nuts. And with a 95% return rate, that's not bad at all. We're only losing 5% of our seeds per harvest. Theoretically, depending on RNG, I suppose. So yeah, we can just go ahead, I guess, plant all of these. That means we need to place more ED and iron. We'll need to place some gleam lanterns too at some point. Because, yeah, torches don't cut it. Yeah, it's something I keep meaning to try out, is like, can you forge the tillers? I don't think you can. You probably put them in there and try to, but probably like won't actually do anything. Oh, yeah, so I can't even pick it up to try to put it in there. Guess I could unsmart stack it here, throw that one on the floor, and yeah, won't go in at all. Because having an AoE tiller, that would be really nice. Because you can AoE harvest, sure, but you can't AoE till. There. Okay, so if I creep, I at least swing fast enough. So I think if I just run, I'll end up missing some. Yeah, I get about like every other block just by walking. There we go. I think I got a shovel. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't need pies. There we go. Okay. Yeah, kind of same sort of deal. Action speed can keep up if I creep. I run out of... I think there we go. Got another 50. That came out almost perfectly. Well, I don't know. Still have 44 left over. Guess we can go forward and backwards just a little bit more. Oops. And as far as I can tell, what you get out of the crops matters, like, how to say this, you know, like the return you get from the crops depends on when it's harvested, not necessarily when it's planted. So in other words, I can plant these and I could optimize them for seeds, but if I re-optimize them for crop yields before I harvest them, that's what you get basically. So you could just plant them, let them grow, and then decide later which way you want them to go as far as prioritizing either the product or the actual seed. Get extras back or something like that. So pretty interesting. Okay. And the cool thing about the Karo nuts is that you can use it to make bark, wax, as well as oils for brews, like the channeling and reduction and all of those crazy oils. So, pretty handy crop to have around. I can remember which tool I need here. Dave Z's asking if there's any news on Titans. I haven't heard anything, well, really, ever. Yeah, there hasn't been any official word in, I guess, years as far as Titans. I know the Hunter, I mean, that's been the most recent as far as like new enemies to fight, and haven't even heard anything about that in a while. I think they've been, you know, naturally focused on the farming update, and then before that was Exo Worlds, and so they did mention that the Exo Worlds that frees them up to have like a fully destructible playground, so to speak. So they don't have to worry about preserving player builds and things like that. So that kind of sounds like the Exo Worlds are going to be the Titan playground, so to speak, or where the Titans live, which makes sense because, you know, you have something that big, it's kind of hard for them to not affect beacons. Or either that, you run into these situations of like players setting up, you know, beacons or builds that are specifically designed to make Titans easier if you make builds impervious to Titans. So, but you know, other than that kind of little hint, there hasn't been any new news on Titans. Oops, I just messed that one up. Let's see, will the game stay alive long enough for Titans though? Well, I mean, the player population has reduced since launch, which is pretty natural for any MMO. But it's still, you know, alive and well, at least to me. We have way more players than we ever did in early access. The economy still, you know, moving along. I don't really have any problems finding things to, you know, places to sell things, things to buy. Of course, I usually buy like AoE tools on my Let's Play character and then sell raw materials like silver and gems and things like that. So I guess ultimately it depends on what you want to buy and sell exactly, but so I don't see Boundless going anywhere anytime soon. Let's see here. Ooh, that's another one. Wheat. We should have plenty of wheat seeds. That's another kind of at least high priority crop for me. To keep those pies rolling out, especially now that you can't make wheat or flour out of the barbed seeds. Which, I don't know, I would a lot rather farm wheat than to go out and get a whole bunch of seeds. They're kind of annoying to get. And the cool thing is, like, you know, the flowing water counts as irrigation just the same as the source block. So you don't have to completely fill up this channel unless you just really want to for aesthetics, basically. So I'll probably fill it all in, but I might do that on my own time. And I guess, you know, water does flow up to, it's either 7 or 8 blocks, something like that, so I'm probably still placing way more water than I really have to. So that one's still only 90%. I think I need to place a little bit extra here on the end. So I think the next console MMO for me will be the Black Desert when it comes to PS4 next month. Oh, it's not already on consoles? I've been kind of curious about Black Desert for a while, but for some reason I've never gotten around to trying it. I think it's only like $5 on Steam, or maybe that was a Steam sale I saw. I can't remember now. But it looks pretty interesting. Just for, let's see here, the last MMO I played other than Boundless was Final Fantasy XIV, and ooh, people like to complain that Boundless is grindy. I'm not sure anybody really knows what grind is until you've played either Final Fantasy XI or even 14. I think 14 is not as bad as 11, but it's still pretty grindy. And just kind of, it burnt me. And I think that's why I get along with Balance. It's like, yeah, Balance is an MMO, but it doesn't feel like the typical MMO experience. So that's probably why I haven't gotten around to trying Black Desert, is I just don't want to get into another MMO like that, you know, especially like raid schedules. I think that's what really did it in for me, was, you know, my free time wasn't really my free time because I had to raid. Okay, looks like we got everything up to 95% chance for seeds. And at least until we get Ember, or not Ember, Amber, there we go. We can't get any better than that. So let's look. Waxy earth yams. Wouldn't be horrible to get waxy earth yams going, especially you could actually like grow waxy earth yams for the sole purpose of turning it into wax and then sticking it in the chrysominter. Because it's a pretty decent return. Let's see here, rice. Ooh, oats for the milk. That would be a good one to get set up. Here we go, here's some wheat seeds. Really, I only have 8 oat seeds? Oh, here we go. There we go, nice. We got 108, that's better. So here, I just crafted / gathered on Final Fantasy XIV, laugh out loud. Will be the same on Black Desert, to be honest, though. Yeah, I didn't mind the crafting so much in Final Fantasy XIV, but the gathering, like the little mini game for gathering, just like, at least for the really high-end stuff, how it was all on timers and it made you just run around the world for no other reason but to waste your time. But I guess the advantage to that system, though, is you didn't ever have to compete with other players. So, you know, it had to do something to slow you down, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it, to say the least. Oh, I suppose we should add some light so the stuff will actually grow. That's what I'm forgetting. Let's see here. Cannot grow. 1 day, 21 hours. And 1 day with 21 hours, so perfect. How far is this going to reach? About that far. Let's see here. This will reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it reaches basically 6 blocks before you have to place another one. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fully covered. What about the middle row? Oh, yeah, we got like one right here, so I think we need to do every 5 blocks a lantern. And maybe even if we place it on the other side. Oh, there's a tiny bit of echo / feedback when I speak. I am in a new room, and so there might literally just be an echo issue of this room. Probably like hang a bunch more stuff on the walls to kind of reduce that. Let's see here. The middle is fine. Yeah, it looks like that'll work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks a lot closer. I think I messed up on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And yeah. Okay, so everything's properly lit. Of course, you can come along and chisel these down to something smaller. Okay, so let's work on, I guess, wheat next. I guess all of the wheat is right there. And wheat likes, let's see here, tilled silty soil to be planted in, mud and water. To increase seed count, we want compacted silt. We want extra output or crop. Increase crop near to till soil. Interesting. So it's that's kind of interesting. Oh, compacted silt. I don't think I have any compact silt. Because, yeah, there's not a use for compacted silt anymore. You know, it used to be used for making glass, and then they simplified the glass recipe, so. Sand, where's all my silty soil? Here we go. And my inventory's filled up. There seems like a lot of work. Is it just used for making food stuff? More or less. I mean, the karu nuts that I just planted, I can use those to make brews as well as to get bark in order to make leather. But most of the farming has to do with food, basically. But there is inorganic farming, so you can grow as a combustion fraction and kindling mass as well as goo. The goo is used for dyeing blocks other colors, and there's even a whole system for like changing the color of goos, and then you can, once you get the pigments, you can then mix the pigments together to make different colors. So that's pretty cool. But then the combustion fraction and kindling mass has to do with making more advanced fuels for both your furnace and your spark generators. So like the kindling mass generally like speeds the fuel up, makes it burn faster or process metals faster, whereas the combustion fraction like basically makes it more fuel, so to speak. So you can like take hard compacted coal and enrich it, and then you can even add kindling mass to it to make like super enriched whatever it's called. Which see, what would that be under? Resources maybe? Yeah, there's the combustion particle and kindling shard. That'll get us, you can compact it into combustion particle. Coal infused combustion particle, and finally enriched combustion particle. Let's see here. One of the most advanced fuel sources available, highly favored by the ancient Orcians. Yeah, generates 19,800 spark. Mints for 14 coins. And I believe it gives you even faster smelting. I would have to make some to be able to check that, but see, you can enrich even peat. So you can do enriched coal, and that basically makes it burn faster. It has a spark conversion of 50 seconds, whereas compact peat has a spark conversion of 1 minute 40 seconds. So that's much faster. It also ups how much spark it generates as well. So that does 550, where the previous version only did 500. So faster and more. So pretty cool. People still use coal. I just use some compact peat whenever I come online. Well, yeah, here you go. Now you can make your compacted peat even more efficient. Depending on how much mining you do, like I go mining for diamonds pretty regularly, and so I get all kinds of like hard coal, and I never really have to hardly worry about spark really. Yeah, I have like 3 million spark in the top set, another 3 million in the bottom set, so, and every once in a while I'll just throw in a stack of hard compact coal, and that's like several million spark just right there. What? Oh, that's right, we were going to compact some silt. I knew I went up there for something, and of course get distracted. Probably have to switch over to my crafter. Helps to go to the right machine as well. Your silty soil. But yeah, my Let's Play character, I used a ton of compacted peat. It's because I didn't have the fancy tools to go mining just yet, and was a really nice fuel to get me up on my feet. Yeah, that's another. The only problem I have with like making sticks is that means you have to go chop a bunch of wood, and I'd a lot rather dig up dirt than chop down trees. Just because digging up dirt, you can kind of dig down and get in the dirt and just go in a straight line, and depending on the area that you're in, and find a spot that's like solid peat, then it's really nice. Let's see here, compact silt. I'll get us started. Okay. Was it like silty soil, right? Build silty soil. Could have sworn I pulled out. Guess I'm going crazy here. So before I started a stream, I pulled out a smart stack of silty soil, and then I thought I came up here and pulled out yet another smart stack, but maybe I stuck it all in the compactor. What color is that? Strong mustard? Yummy. Don't you have some really tall trees with big trunks, though, right outside your workshop? Yeah, I mean, but not on my Let's Play character. My Let's Play character has much smaller trees around him. But, you know, even if I was to take an AoE axe to this stuff... Ooh, there's some crops right there. Cool. Yeah, you'd be... it wouldn't be quite as efficient, because, you know, every once in a while you'd not be hitting 3 blocks at a time. So, it also kind of depends on your spec. Like, do you have the control to be able to reach up high, or do you have to climb up in the tree? You know, it's just kind of it's a little bit more work to do wood compared to peat. Depending on, you know, where you're getting the peat. If it's all scattered around, then it's not worth it. But if you have like an area that's solid peat and really easy to, you know, mine out, then might consider getting rid of that lava if I'm gonna start doing that. So let's see, we need to leave a space for the silty soil, basically, or the compacted silt. Nice. The spec has like no extra damage whatsoever and still one-shot the rock. Of course, it is a tier 6 mining hammer, so kind of hope it would one-shot rock on a tier 3 world. I mean, let's see here. Yeah, that's really about all we can do. I mean, till the soil and until we get some of the compacted silt, there's not a whole lot we can really do. So let's see here, what... I mean, other than... We could set up waxy earth yams, but... Ooh! What about the starberries? Like the regular starberries I'm not so interested in, but the glossy starberries, because if I could start crafting the invigorating foods, that would be kind of nice. If you're unfamiliar, the invigorating foods gives you extra HP, so it's really handy for hunting. And yeah, just plant. So you'd be right at home playing one of the farming sim games, yeah, pretty much. Ouch, let's see, what was it called? There's like a mod pack for Minecraft that I played just before I found Boundless, that it was very heavily farming based, basically. It's called Regrowth, and it's a pretty cool mod pack. But you could literally grow pretty much everything. Iron, copper, things like you shouldn't be able to grow with a crop, but it was kind of like magic based as well, so combined all sorts of mods to kind of make a, not really a storyline, but there's like a questing mod that kind of unfolded the different mods to you in a semi-organized manner. But it actually had a pretty cool system that it's like you'd get seeds and you would plant them on these like trellises or whatever, or crop sticks, whatever you want to call them. And if you planted them next to empty crop sticks, they had a chance to spread, basically. Each time they spread, they had a chance to basically level up. They had like 3 different stats. And so you'd get your crop or your first set of seeds, and the first thing you wanted to do is just plant it in a way that it could spread and kind of level up and get better. Like would make there's like a stat for how fast it grew, how much it produced, and something else. I guess how fast it spread, maybe. So here, have you checked the prestige of each crop and each stage of growth? No, I have not. I mean, the crops will increase the prestige of your beacon, and eventually there'll be crops that is their sole purpose, is for both decoration and increasing the prestige of your build. That particular crop will be unique in the sense that they will wither over time. So they only last a certain amount of time. You can fertilize them and it will slow down the time it takes for them to wilt. But it sounds like they will eventually die no matter what you do, but you will get seeds back, so you can just replant them. So, sounds like a pretty interesting system. I kind of almost wish they would do something like that, but like if you kept them watered or fertilized, then you could keep them going indefinitely. That way you still have to maintain them, but you don't necessarily have to replant them. But I guess it doesn't really make too much of a difference as long as you get a seed back. But those aren't in this update. That'll be for a later time. But as far as prestige at like each growth stage, I kind of would think that it would be pretty consistent throughout. Like, this stage would be worth as much as a fully grown, but I could be wrong. If there is a difference, I imagine it'd be like, okay, there's the freshly planted, and then there's the fully grown, and each would have its own prestige value. But I guess, let's see here. Take a look here. I have to remind myself where all the prestige information is actually, in the debugging menu. Seems like it would be Oh, is it like beacon somewhere? Game state. Seems like it would be under selection. Hmm. Yeah, I don't seem to remember where the beacon information is. I guess it's possible they took it out of the debugging menu. I'm not sure why they would go to the trouble, though. Certainly not seeing it. The crops take 22 hours. Why that long? Let's see here. So it does depend on the lighting conditions. So this crop is not properly lit. So that's one reason why it's taking that long. I plant all of them. I mean, you can look at them depending on what the crop actually is will determine the growth time. So this one, the karu nut, it takes almost 2 days for it to grow. But then something like earth yams, it only takes 3 hours. And I don't know, the growth time, that doesn't really bother me because I just look at it as mass crafting. You know, if I want a consistent source of, you know, that particular crop, I just plant more of it. Just like if I want to craft, say, diamond hammers faster, I'll just make more machines, and instead of putting like, you know, 5 mass crafts on one machine, you know, have 5 machines with a mass craft each. That way you're crafting 5 sets in the time it takes to craft 1. So but if the crops aren't properly lit or they're not outside, then they'll either not grow at all or they'll take even longer. See, like this one takes 22 hours and 45 minutes, whereas this one only takes 11 hours. So, you know, plant them, go to bed, wake up, then they're basically done-ish. Each day, in-game day, which is like 15 minutes or something like that, I don't remember exactly how long each in-game day is, it rolls to see whether or not it advances to the next stage. So that's not like, oh, it's an absolute, it's going to take 1 day, 21 hours. It could take a little bit less, it could take a little bit longer. It's kind of an approximation, and there are fertilizers you can use that will speed it up as well. There's the Ocean mulch, which is kind of the basic, and then there's the other one. I can't remember what it's called. It's made out of the petroleum, though, which is one of the new fluids. But I guess I could go watch my own video to remind myself where the beacon information is. Kind of strange. It seems like it would be under selection, but not really that big of a deal. Oh well. Oh, that is a possibility with the last update that kind of rebalanced the prestige system. I guess they could have hidden it then. Because the bonus system is completely different now. So we could do waxy. What does waxy even need? Clay and tangle. Probably don't have really any tangle because I've never had a reason to get it. Ooh, oats. That's the other one. Yeah, we can use oats to make milk now. So that's an important one for making food. So we need compacted peat. We should have plenty of that, maybe. I haven't sold it all. I might have sold it all. But tilled peaty soil. Is it... Okay, I started to say. Really, it wants to be irrigated with something. Let's see if we have any compacted peat. So this is at least where my compactor was. Yeah, that's newly placed. I know we have plenty of peaty soil. Guess I could go check my shop. Oh, what's this? Compact clay. The lustrous wood looked like mud to me. It's like I pull a flashlight out and light up things a little bit better. So you can grow the purple earth yams or just the... You can grow all of the earth yams. You can do the... the yellow, green, and purple ones, so to speak. You can also grow all of the starberries and all of the grains, so to speak. So rice, oats, and flour. What else? As well as the caro nuts for bark. There's the inorganic farming, which is basically spark/heat, and then goo for tinting. I think I'm gonna have to go check my shop and see if I have... But I think somebody bought all of my compacted soils. Oh, no, I got some. So here, that's the clay. I got 650. Okay. And of course, nowhere to pick it up from. Let's see here. Oh, I have an empty space. There we go. Oh, nice. Got some money to collect. Ooh, all of my pies sold. Probably because because the ingredients needed to make them are harder to get now. They're probably underpriced. Got a decent amount of stuff to collect. Nobody seems to want to sell me sweet beans anymore. Keep inching the price up. It's like, if I go high enough, it should start selling again. I can check. Ooh, nice. Almost 8,000 coin there. See if Kippy's... I think Kippy needs to visit her beacon. She's getting reduced payout. So your Lord Gosen is asking how I liking the update. I'm loving it so far. I did run into a bit of a snag trying to find exotic earth yams. I finally did manage to find 2. Each one gave me 3 seeds though, so I have a total of 8 plants over here. Of course optimized to make more seeds, so hopefully, I mean over time I'll eventually be able to expand my crop of exotic earth yams, but just kind of getting some perfunctory crops set up here. I could make these 4 blocks wide, but I have like an AoE tool that's designed for harvesting in the process of being forged, so I'm going with a 3 wide setup, at least for the time being. So let's see here. Why would the availability of earth yams be reduced? Thought they decided against removing them from the block drops. They are still available from block drops, however the drop rate for them has been reduced. The only reason why they dropped as often as they did was to help out new players get basic food. And since you can now get the basic food really easily from both the surface resources and farming, they reduce the drops of like the exotic earth yams to be more in line with the other additional drops, like the what was it, saltpeter and cobalt, and the fragment type things from rock and gravel. So that method still works. It's just not going to be as effective. So theoretically, farming is going to be a better way of going about it, but only time will tell, really. And I think it'll probably be a matter of like pick your poison. Would you rather do the farming, or would you rather just go break the blocks? Which one is more fun for you to do? So, and personally, the more options we have, the better, because I like to do farming. Somebody else might like to just go break the blocks. Somebody else might want to just gather the surface resources, and so we have 3 different ways of getting the same thing, and I think that's a healthy way to go about it. Has anyone tested / confirmed? Oh, that the drop rate has been reduced? If they have, I'm not aware of. I think somebody said they tried it out on the testing servers and says like, yeah, you can still get them, but that it wasn't dropping nearly as much. And I imagine you can also just look in the game files and see, oh yeah, it's not as high as it used to be. I never knew what the drop rate was beforehand, so I don't have much to compare to, but... So somebody was saying I farmed 1,500 exotic earth yams from mud prior to the update. Lucky me. If you need some, I'll gladly chunk some your way at a good price. I'm always coming by the shop to snag teaching pies. Oh, thanks for your, what is it, patronage? Not really, but yeah. Let's see here. They increased all plants on planets drastically. So yeah, I was tripping over glow caps on Norkaina. Like, there's fields of them. Something you have to remember is that they forced world regeneration in order to add the new crops, as well as simulate all the flowing fluids. So you're seeing the worlds at their absolute pristine richest. So over time, that will kind of reduce somewhat. So it's like, did they really increase how many plants there are, or is it just because you're seeing the planet in its pristine state? So it'll kind of take a little bit of time for the planets to kind of find their equilibrium again. Oh, it's on, my shop is on Jiivita. The Jiivita Mall. And I'll show you how to get there. At least from the Petroleum hub. So here's the Jiivita portal. It's on the north side of the Petroleum hub. And you basically just walk in a straight line, or kind of jog to the side a little bit, and Jiivita's. Then here's the Jiivita Mall. So pretty cool place if you've never been here. It's shop after shop after shop. The only problem is a fair number of them are just kind of empty. Like players have gone inactive or something, and or they're just not bothering to restock their shops. So, but yeah, I need to get busy. Actually, I should have a stock. Try to have a little stockpile in reserve. The problem is I'm kind of out of sweet beans at the moment. But I do have some teaching pies in reserve. Yeah. 280 and 200. Usually put out about 100 at a time. Excuse me. So I don't need the flint and seeds. There might even be... Ooh, there is. I don't think I have any more persisting pies, though. Oh! Doomaroo!
Tubio.
But yeah, that's actually the one crop I wish they added that they didn't, was sweet beans. Because not a huge fan of farming sweet beans. Generally prefer to just buy them, which has been working great for the longest time, but here lately, whoever was selling to me, I guess has stopped. So I don't know if that's because they found a better price or they just got tired of farming them, or, you know, take your pick. Who knows? They didn't exactly leave a message explaining. I forgot them on my other guy. Be right back. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see here. Kind of low-ish on shimmering orbs. I think I have extra of those, but I have enough there for now. Oh yeah, it's behind. So we were in the process of trying to plant, what, waxy earth yams? No, not wax. Oh, the oats. There we go. So increase yield in peaty soil, acted peat. We needed silty soil for something. Maybe I was thinking of oats. Well, no, that is the oats. I'm going crazy here. Don't really need rice. We don't need regular earth yams. You do the starberries at some point. Huh. I don't know. That's kind of strange. Care to come check my area? Actually, I want it to be more populated and maybe you can help. Okay. Pastry Army? Or, yeah, Pastry Army, I guess. So, like, if you give me directions, or I guess come get me, we can go check it out. Started to just run out and was like, I have no clue where I'm supposed to be going, so. What does this like to be? It's... Yeah, so peaty soil and compacted peat. Oh yeah, that's why we went to the shops, because we needed the compacted peat. Duh. So its helper block is the... Okay, compacted peat. We can leave a space. Yeah, speaking of helping people out, my Let's Play character, or the last Let's Play episode I was showing was like, oh yeah, just go get some silver and you can sell it here. And then somebody commented after the video went live is like, yeah, the basket is completely full. So it was kind of maybe spoiled my own strategy there by showing it on the Let's Play. But it's it's kind of the whole point is to show how you can do stuff like that. Let's see here. I'll come get you. Okay. Oh, okay. You're at the shop. Let's get these oats planted right quick, and then we can head over there. You can always make the crops happy later. Of course, they might need a little bit of light. That won't take too long either to set up. Oh, it's already... There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. So without any additional help, these have a 150 yield for the crop and 100% seed yield as well. So I don't have to do anything extra to make this sustainable, basically. That's pretty cool. And if I irrigate it, it should be even better. There it is. Of course, I think the peaty soil will kind of change that a little bit. That'll... Well, I thought the peaty soil was for... packed peat. Increase seed. Oh! We have to plant it in compacted peat. That's interesting. It's a little bit different from... So yeah, okay, that gives us 120. Well, we really don't even have to do that. So maybe we'll just kind of leave it as is. Oh, how's it going, Dozak? Good evening to you as well. Pastry Army is gonna drag me off to somewhere. Their build/settlement, I believe. And is gonna meet me at my shop. Hopefully I don't require an inventory, because it's a disaster at the moment. At least switch over to my mining spec. Oh, nice. I sold a little bit of sweet beans. Not sure which one I'm supposed to be meeting. Hello. Okay. Nothing. Interesting name. So Dozak, have you added basically a crop wing to your massive build out there on, was it Bori? think it's Bori. I haven't been out there in a while. I have to go check it out here at some point. I think you commented on the video that's like, oh, I've, got another 2 million prestige or something on it. So, sure, there's plenty of cool stuff to take a look at. Oh, the farming area is above the workshop. Nice. So you have it like exposed to sunlight, or are you gonna do like an indoor type thing? At first I thought I was gonna do mine outdoors, but then I was like, oh, well I can have like multiple layers if I do it indoors, not to mention I don't have to worry about creatures, but of course your stuff is all up in the sky, so kind of is natural protection for you. Oh, that's interesting. You are no longer affected by, was it interstellar status? Probably. Stream looks like it's okay, but I guess I'm gonna lose connection to Boundless. Might do a side room for indoor farming. Gotcha. Well, let me go back through, I wonder. Nope. Check your connection. Okay. Well, we made it back, at least. There we go. I guess it was just like a massive lag spike or something. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so it's on McRib. Kind of feels like I've been here before. Okay, maybe not. Or at least haven't seen the upstairs. Ooh. Starberries. So saying good area but ugly house, laugh out loud. Yeah. Yeah, I love the trees, but not a whole lot going on with the home. But it gets the job done. Keeps you safe, got a place to craft. Yeah, it looks like you have like ooh, Roadrunner feather. 4,000. I have no clue what Roadrunner feathers are supposed to be worth, so. The Diggy C or Dig by C saying the graphics overhaul is amazing. Yeah, I'm loving it. Like the shop stands got the nice kind of shiny gold, and yeah, it's really nice. Not to mention all the refined blocks, they no longer look like they have like a 3-inch layer of white wax on them. They actually look like they're made out of stone now. But it actually gets dark at night, and I know some people are a little upset that some things are too dark, but I don't know. So the devs are actually considering, allowing you to kind of adjust that client side, but they're a little bit undecided if they're gonna like tweak it for everybody or allow the player to kind of fine tune it. I think just like a gamma slider is really all that's needed, so you can kind of balance it a little bit more to your liking, but nothing too drastic. But so yeah, the different colors actually have different what's it called? Like they only have one stat now. So like previously they had intensity and radius. Now they just have intensity. And the intensity determines basically the radius. So darker colors have a lower intensity and therefore a lower radius, or how far the light actually travels away. So you can place down a block of black gleam and it barely throws off any light at all, whereas you throw down a block of white gleam and it lights up a very large area comparatively. So, and I can see how some people get a little bit upset with that if they used the really dark colors to light up a big area, because yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to do that moving forward. This year, unfortunately, it's dark now. Mobs are hard, but it's good area if you are later in game. Oh yeah, like more, well equipped. Let's see here, Nicolo or Nikolai or something like that. It's asking what's new. You can always adjust your monitor or TV. Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts. It's like, if it's too dark, just turn up the brightness, but then you're turning up the brightness for everything. So I guess an in-game gamma setting would be nice, but like you said, there's nothing stopping you from just turning up the gamma on your monitor. So yeah, I don't think, yeah, McRib is really cooperating tonight, at least for me. So how's the update, Jiivita? Is this going to bring people back to Boundless? I guess that really depends on if they're really into farming. I know some people have been chomping at the bit to get a hold of farming, but I imagine it's not everybody's cup of tea, I would think. But I think it'll bring a lot of players back to at least try it out and see what's what. So, yeah. This year I had to turn off bloom with the new update. It helped a bit with the super bright portions. Oh, yeah, I think I've had bloom off for the longest time because it did kind of weird things. Oh, helps to go over to the graphics. Let's see what it... Yeah, see, I have bloom off. It kind of makes things look fuzzy at times to have the bloom on. It does make the coil seem a little bit... Oh... Where is it? Settings? There we go. Yeah, it just kind of, I don't know, strikes me as a little bit blurry. I guess that's why I turned it off to begin with. See, I'm pretty laggy too right now. Maybe too much going on. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here, I'm 170 milliseconds. Was that a friend request? Yep. Oh, trade request? Yeah, I have no inventory. So, you want some light tan gleam? Nice. 65 sweet beans, closer to more teaching pies. Did do a whole bunch of farming earlier before the update for some sweet beans, so hopefully I have enough for at least one more mass craft. I guess I don't need all this rock. Okay, so let's go back and see about... Oh, starberries. Yeah, we can work on the starberries. That should be kind of interesting because, you have to plant them on the leaves or the underside of leaves, and they generally like a lot of empty space around them. Kind of have to come up with a, you know, a different setup compared to the rest of the stuff. So here, I made I think 10 teaching pies pre-update. Haven't tried since the update. Been too busy making fountains. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wrong side. So let's see here. We'll need some leaves. I think most of my leaves are right here. We can dump the compacted iron. We don't need the rock. Yeah, the main ones I'm interested in are the glossy starberries. Juicy are fun. They make like the food that allows you to jump higher, but I don't know. It's not really. It's kind of a novelty in my book, but the invigorating food's pretty darn useful for hunting. What's the lowest level planet to find goo? Well, goo is found only on exoworlds, and the knowledge tree should tell you. Let's see here, farming goo. So found on exoworlds, rank or level 5 to 8. So 5 to 7 basically. So elemental worlds and up. And the color of goo is determined by the rock that it grows on. So if you know the colors of the planet, you know, as far as rock, then you can, you know, hunt around and find that color of goo, and then you can plant it on gleam in order to mutate it to a different color. So if you plant, say, black goo on a white piece of gleam, it'll start to shift it more towards the color of the gleam, basically. But it's not. It won't do it all at once, and like even like an entire crop, it'll be, you know, some will jump 2 shades. Oh, thanks for the follow there. So like one plant might jump 2 shades towards the gleam, the other one might do 3, one might do none. Oh, thank you again for the other follow. So, but then you can make, there's actually 2 new machines. There's a tinter, which will basically use the spray dye on like a stack of items, where you can just use it on individual blocks just by, you know, like whacking things. And then there's a mixer that actually makes the pigment, and you'll be able to mix different pigments together. So you could take like black and white pigment and mix it together to make gray, where you could do like say 75%, you know, 75 black and 25 white, and it makes a darker gray. So you can fine tune your colors that way. Let's see here. How did I get so many seeds already? Is there one plant that's good for it? Okay. So you're thinking to buy this game. How's the population? So the population, I mean, it's like you can find areas that are deserted if you want to be off by yourself, but then there's also really massive cities if you want to be in a populated area. The real trick is finding an area that is active the same time you are active, since this is basically a global game. There's people playing this in Australia, Europe, you know, United States, etc. So, trick is to find a community that's active when you're active if you want to play with other players. So, you know, that's a pretty common complaint, is like, oh, every town that I visit is dead. It's like, well, it's not necessarily dead, it just might not be active the same time you are active, you know, because the residents there are sleeping or whatnot. So But I think at any given time there's what, maybe 50 people playing? But then you have to keep in mind that there's like 50 different planets those players could be on. So they could be out mining, or they might be at home or traveling, visiting one of those 50 planets. So yeah, if you're in the United States, Feminorum is a pretty good choice. Duskmoor is a pretty massive city. As far as I can tell, it's pretty active. I'm not that familiar with Duskmoor. I haven't been there in a while, but I can kind of go give you a taste of what a larger settlement looks like. Oh, here we go. Feminorum, or there should be a city portal over here. Duskmoor, here we go. Ooh, nice. They added a tree. So there we go. There's somebody. So this is kind of their portal hub leading to basically everywhere. It's like portal hub next to a portal hub. Oh, very nice. Look at all these cool trees. So yeah, if you look up at the compass, you know, player, 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 player. So just FOI, avoid hunts. Couple of hunts went on the game, kept crashing. Oh, really? Okay. They'll need a hot fix. Okay, good to know. Yeah, Feminorum was actually the planet I started on when the game first launched. Been here since the beginning. Here's somebody's fountain. Ooh, it's got lava in it too. Interesting. Kind of cool, like chains or something. Castle? So yeah, if you're active about this time, this looks like an excellent place to be if you want to be around other players. You'll kind of have to find an empty spot, probably on the outskirts, to build, but it should be very doable. Ooh, what is that? Looks like maybe the outline for something that's a work in progress. Kind of looks like maybe it's trying to be a moon, or at least a crescent. Here I've got 1,300 plus hours in game. I love it up until now. The lighting now is dark as hell. Yeah, I knew there's gonna be a group of players that hated the lighting. They changed the lighting back in early access, and like everybody was all up in arms about it. Granted, it did like it went, like the colors went from being a nice bold to kind of a washed out pastel, and yeah, people were pretty upset about it. But personally, I like it, but I could see how the really dark areas could bother people. Especially if it means you have to like readjust the lighting for your entire build, which probably means maybe a different color of gleam or something, or more gleam, and which would really affect the overall build. It looks like it's trying to be, well, it's like crescent-like. I don't know. Looks really interesting, whatever it's gonna be. Oh, quite possibly. Somebody's asking if that's Mooney's new shop logo. It's a good guess. It's a hammer. See a little bit more from the side there. Let's see here. STDOC. No parking anytime. Okay. Let's see here. Now, since it's darker, they need to make something where you can infuse gleam with rock to give it a glow. That'd be interesting. So yeah, this is probably the biggest settlement on the US servers. If you're more European time-based, then Eshro and the Ultima Guild HQ city, whatever it's called now, would be the better choice. Oh, that's cool. Like, lighthouse. Kind of looks ominous. Whoa. Oh yeah, we were looking at that a moment ago, but we didn't quite see the back part. That's really pretty cool. Kind of got a cathedral feel to it. Church of Pie. But where's the pie? So your Jiivita, do you have a combustion kernel farm on live yet? I have a piece of combustion fraction kernel thingy and bobber. Could you take screenshots of your farm areas? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I can just go look at it. See if I can find my way back. I'm pretty sure the hub area is right over here. And let's see here. Portal Seekers Petroleum. Perfect. So here, I think they tweaked the resource percent on planets. I'm finding tons of plants in areas that farmed a million times don't have as much as before. Yeah, the thing you have to keep in mind is that they forced world regeneration, so you're seeing the planets in a pristine state. Once these resources get kind of farmed out, it won't ever really be quite as dense. So they really, they could have upped the density. That's very possible, but you have to keep in mind what you're seeing now is at its absolute highest. It's possible. So yeah, when the planets were first coming out, like the tier 6s and things like that, it was kind of like a gold rush of people rushing, because by then they kind of figured out, oh, new planet means super rich planet that only lasts a certain amount of time. But I was on Norkina earlier today, and even when Norkina first came out, it was, as far as glow caps, there's way more glow caps than there was even when it first came out. So it could be that they bumped up the spawn rate of certain resources, or all of them, or, take your pick. It's anybody's guess at this point. But what were we... Oh, somebody wanted to see my farm setup, so here's the Caro nuts. We got compacted iron, 3 pieces of tilled PD soil, and then more compacted iron, and of course irrigated with water. And this is optimized for seed yield. We can't actually finish optimizing for seed yield until... Ooh, that has 0% crop yield. That's not good. So it's kind of like, why are we even bothering planting this stuff? But in order to fully optimize this crop, we need amber. So yeah, so we need amber to finish making it happy, so to speak. So I'll probably just let this stuff grow and then not harvest it until we get some amber. And what do we have over here? We have ancient oats, which really all you need is tilled PT soil. And it's pretty much not 100% happy, but you get 100% chance to get seeds back. So I was saying, it's like, I want to go see you, Jiivita. It's like, okay. What is it? North side of the Petroleum hub, I think? I don't know. Same side as Feminorum and Jiivita, opposite of the high-level worlds, or the portals leading to the high-level worlds. So you're no good plant to find the seeds. I only found the lowest earth yams and starberries after running around each level of planet for like 30 minutes each. So if you want to find a particular crop, just go to the knowledge tree and you can go to the farming filter, and here's all of the crops. So probably the rarest resource in the game right now is the exotic tuber plant. Because they only spawn on level 4 worlds, and they spawn best on lush planets. And there's literally one level 4 lush planet for the entire game, which is Circus 1. And that planet has a less than 1% density or something like that, goofy. So I spent several hours running around and only managed to find 2. Luckily, each one gave me 3 seeds, so I have a total of 6 plants growing here, and have them optimized to make more seeds. So at least until they either add more lush planets or bring in exo lush planets, or just people have time to make, grow more seeds, it's going to be a little bit rough trying to get the exotic tuber plants, make exotic earth yams. So here, are the new crops able to be put in the mint? Should be. Everything should have a mint value, so this mints for 1/10 of a coin. And of course the product that it makes was already mintable, or let's see here. Yeah, mints for 1/10 of a coin. So that's actually something I'm considering doing, is growing waxy earth yams for the purpose of making wax to then stick into the chrysominter. Because, the wax, like you could take, 18 yams and turn it into 100 wax or something goofy like that. Or is it 250? I can't remember. Expands it quite a bit and makes each yam worth a lot more than just putting the yam in the chrysominter directly. So let's get these glossy starberries underway. So increase yield in exotic foliage. They like to be near air, or at least empty space, basically. In order to increase our seeds, they like to be next to tangle. I don't think I have very much tangle. Oh, I got 58. That'll be enough to get us started, because I don't think we have too many seeds. Get a drink of something here. Okay. And what did we say? Was it exotic foliage? I already forgot. Yeah, exotic. That should be... lush, there's exotic. That's lush. We could... Ooh, there we go. We have like hundreds of this color. We could of course take a changing chisel and just change it. I suppose we could even do a changing chisel for compacted silt. I think that works. Should work. I don't know. Of course I have like oodles and goodles of silt, so there's really no reason not to just compact some silt and be good. Let's see here. How do we want to set this up? We're going to have to do a little bit of experimenting. So I had a setup that worked really good for foliage, but then they changed the rules. So it's it likes being planted near other no, it doesn't say anything about, because most crops, they like to be near the stuff that they're planted in, as well as the things that they like. So we're just gonna have to kind of experiment here and see what's what. Let's pull that out, and we need to, oh, that's right, we switched away from our farming spec. There we go. So that gives us, ooh, nice, 98% chance for seed, 164% for crop. So we can do some tangle. It gets us up to 101%. I've made one solidifier tool. So Ruben, right there is asking if I've made one. Yes. I don't know if he's in the chat as well. So you're at the Petroleum hub, but I'm not sure which one is your portal. Okay, sorry I missed that one. Lancelot, you gonna play later? Okay, I think I'm caught up on chat. See, I'll trade you 50 combustion kernels for one solidifier. Okay. I don't particularly really want a solidifier, so there you go. There we go. So combustion fraction likes to be... We can plant it in gravel, rock, decorative refined gravel. Increases seed near ancient corruption, increases yield and decorative refined gravel. So basically we want to plant it in refined gravel. Irrigate with lava and ancient corruption. And the game just like disappeared. Okay. Well, let's make it reappear. Crash dump. Okay, so let's see here, 101, that lower, guess I need an axe. Okay, nice. So that did not lower happiness of the crop. Okay, so that one did. So it looks like we can do basically 6 and be good. So here, did somebody? No, I guess not. Why does it say cannot grow? Because technically, as far as the crops are concerned, this is pitch black. Because torchlight does not count. It has to be gleam light. So I can place down a block of gleam, and now it'll grow in 6 hours. But it's not overly happy with that gleam being so close, so what we can do is just put it on a different elevation, like put it below it or something. There we go, 6 hours. Of course, we could plant this all outside and then we wouldn't have to worry about lighting. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to optimize this a little bit differently somehow, because, oh, I think that might be messing it up. There we go. 105, 103, so there's, what is it, that? Kind of, I guess it just has to do with the air, because that one has a lower seed yield but a much higher crop yield. So here, I'll trade you 100 lava blocks for 100 water blocks. Okay, whatever. I don't really need either one of those, so make much of a difference to me. Okay, so it looks like the benefit will go 3 blocks, at least as far as tangle. So that's 1, 2, 3. Here. Lancelot. Let's see here, the tangle, I mean. What if you put it on top of the foliage? Oh, so the crops only consider things in the same horizontal plane as itself. So in order for the tangle to have any effect, it needs to be right next to the leaves. You put it above or below, it doesn't consider it. Oh, thanks. Lancelot's saying a nice place. kind of a work in progress. It's a big open cave at the moment, except for, you know, the crafting area. So you can actually use that to your advantage for like the lighting, because the lighting doesn't have to be on the same plane naturally. You can do kind of interesting things like put the gleam on top or below, depending on your preference. That gets all of that nice and consistent. Can we just do like that, basically? Yeah, that does work. Have to place down some more lighting, of course, but... So yeah, we can just do rows and rows of this stuff. I guess the next question is if we wanted to do another row, what would we have to do? Because yeah, that's... doesn't... So either axes are not the tool for seeds, or it's an extremely rare drop. Well, what are you breaking? The tool really doesn't matter. The tool's just going to be how... how fast it breaks. It shouldn't really affect the drops, though. If you're trying to get the seeds, you need to break whatever the crop is. It'll be wild. So like starberries will be growing on the underside of leaves like this. Except of course it'll be the mature version. And then the tuber plants and yeah, so on and so forth. Let's see. There we go. That gonna make our crop over here? Yeah, so that's still too close. And something we could do this. Since it only considers the horizontal plane, we should be able to stack it like so. Yeah, it's not affecting these crops in the slightest. Let's see here, so either... Oh, that's the same comment. Very nice. So the exact same... Oh, okay, so these are now unhappy for some reason. Oh, that's right. Okay. So... it works, except... this does count as a block, so it messes up the air block that's right next to this lower crop. So it does need to be either further out or probably a little bit higher. I remember running into this on the testing servers. Foresee a problem of lighting with that for that setup. I could just put the lighting on top. I mean, I'd have to clear out a little bit more of the stone maybe, but yeah, this is more a proof of concept than anything. I have a better tool. I should just grab an axe. Somebody bring that man a simple iron axe. There we go. Sorry to say, I should have some iron axes. I don't need torches. But still not be the same issue with the lower lighting affecting the higher crops. If the lighting's on top of the leaves, shouldn't really be an issue, but you know, we can certainly experiment. What planet do you get the tangle from? I don't know. It's on just about any planet, almost. Tier 4s, I think, is the first time I remember seeing. Oh, I know it's on McRib. It's just kind of where can you find a prefab that is convenient for farming. I think McRib has like these big kind of mounds of it with thorns sticking out of it or something like that. But I've never really had a reason to want a tangle up until now, so I don't have like a real great farming location to rattle off. So that's probably still going to be too close. The better option would be to go up higher, probably. Well, it's not unhappy yet. Oh, yeah, we made that one unhappy. Yeah, better to go higher. Very nice. So yeah, now the bottom is not being affected. And here and put in some tangle. Oh, is there some rock or something? There we go. Oh, almost. It looks like you need at least 3 blocks gap. Because yeah, that now is affecting this crop. So you either need 3 blocks or change elevation. So I could do another one even higher, or come down lower than this one, because I mean we've got an extra block there. Yeah, but there needs to be 2 blocks difference in elevation, so you kind of need to re-optimize this if we wanted to do a lower crop. Let's see here. The tuber plants are all over where I live, and I broke probably 40 and not 1 seed. Do you have luck? Luck will affect the drop rate And theoretically, the gathering epic will affect the drop rate as well. Which, that doesn't seem right because it says that it should always drop a seed. The uncommon or the chance to get is the actual product itself. So it's probably that you're not breaking the right plant. Because the ones that are going to give you seeds are basically these right here. It's under the farming filter, you know, the Ortian rice, the Aurum wheat, ancient oat, tuber plants, the Caro plant, starberry vines, a combustion fraction, kindling mass, and goo. Everything else won't give you seeds. So if you're trying to break like the desert swords and things like that, the old surface resources to get seeds, that's not going to work for you. So yeah, anytime you're gathering pretty much anything, you want as much luck as possible because it affects, you know, embedded resources like coal and diamonds, things like that. Affects the surface resources, and it seems like there's something else it affects. You know, the farming. It should. I don't know. They talked about it, but they also didn't. I don't know. It was kind of confusing. I don't think luck necessarily affects the drops from farming, but the farming epic does. Because, well, it's the farming epic. What else is it going to affect? So let's see here. Oh, Star Nation Mall? Okay. I've seen signs for Star Nation. Let's see here. Oh, and I think I saw it, what, on the community exploration type video? Kind of emptied out my mailbox and was like, let's just do this all at once. Oh, ran out of seeds. Okay, very nice. Yeah, I don't really have room to do another elevation type thing, so I could just do an extra block space and then come back down to this elevation. So, options. I think that's actually the subfloor, so I could cut into that. I'm gonna like build a floor or plant crops on top of this. That'll do for now. So I should be able to just kind of plop some gleam up there. 6 hours. It's not actually planted. I wonder if I just put a piece of gleam on each piece of tangle, if that will be enough. There we go. Oh, was there... There's oh, it's just... okay. Yeah, I think I like this one better. It's a little less drag my head on everything. Especially when these kind of mature, they're going to hang down in my face. So I was playing around with the farming epic on and off, and it didn't change the percents. Did anybody else have the same response? So yeah, what you see in the up here does not take into account the farming epic. So the farming epic is in addition to what you see right here. So the light on level A isn't affecting level B. Yeah, I mean, it's affecting in the sense that it's providing light for it to grow, but it's not considered as far as the crop yield and the seed yield. If I put it off to the side right here, it would affect these numbers. But since the crops only look in a horizontal plane, it doesn't look up or down, it's not. Oh, but it probably is making these guys unhappy. Except there's not really a whole lot planted right there. Let's see here, 101. So, yeah, interestingly, that's kind of interesting that the starberry crop, if it hangs down, but it's hanging down at the same level as the leaf, and it affects the lower row. Since this gleam isn't the same level as the leaf, it's not affecting either one of these crops. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, when I tried to put the leaf at the same elevation as the gleam right there, then the crop would hang down and be at the same elevation of the leaf, and then they would get unhappy with each other. So that was what was going on. Bryce Herbert, woohoo! Farming, I missed your earlier stream, glad I'm here for this one. Yeah, the the first one we mostly just ran around and tried to find crops. So we kind of found all the seeds we're planting now. And yeah, the exotic tubers, those suckers are hard to find. They only spawn on one planet and not very much on that planet. So I think literally all of them have already been harvested, basically. But you can put an exotic earth yam in the atlas and hunt them down that way. Just keep in mind it might lead you to like a spineback plant instead of the wild crop. So much I need to figure out, God. Let's see here. Also, just to let you know, you can't stack topaz with diamond anymore in the centriforge. Yeah, I noticed that earlier. I was forging a topaz axe to harvest crops and tried to put a diamond, and yeah, it says invalid item now. So I guess they didn't like that particular loophole. see, I guess apparently we need to light these guys up. Yeah, it looks like 11 hours. Yeah. Of course, some of these have already grown a little bit, so they're saying less time. This year, my wife and I found tons of seeds on Betulia. Yeah, you should find just about everything on Betulia. It'll just be the planet-specific stuff, like the exotic tubers and maybe combustion fraction. Does that need to be like a metal world or something? I haven't actually gone looking for that one yet. Level 3 to 8, so that's good news. Best world are metal worlds. So yeah, you could go to, was it Boundless? I think that's a level 3. Hill's a level 4. And find that stuff. Let's see, I wonder how many plots it's going to require to build an efficient layout for an earthium farm. I'm going to guess lots. You know, it depends on how much you want to actually produce. Yeah, if you want to harvest your crop and have enough for a mass craft of persisting pies, then you're going to need quite a few. But if you don't mind, you know, just every time you log on, you harvest them, and after like a week of harvesting, then you have enough, then you can get away with a lot less space. Not earthium everything. Well, okay. I mean, you can grow the regular earthiums, but there's not much of a reason to grow them other than, well, they are good for restoring hunger. But yeah, I'm just kind of planting the stuff I'm actually interested in. There's plenty of crops that I don't really care too much about, like rice. Yeah, rice is pretty interesting to work with though, because like you like have to be able to flood the field, but when you harvest it, you need to be able to drain the field. And so it's fun to play with the fluid mechanics, but there's not really anything that I craft with rice, you know, period. It kind of makes like the mid-tier foods. So it's kind of one crop that I probably will just ignore for the time being unless they decide to add something later. So let's look at, and we need ancient corruption for the combustion fraction. Thankfully we have a modest amount. Don't need the dark glass for now. Milk comes from oats, so which what we have right here is the ancient oats. So, oh, the refined gravel. I think I have some crafted. It might all be placed. Kippy wanted to place it under the water up here. So I could break that out, I suppose. Yep, the caro nuts are used to make wax, bark, and oils. You can still use waxy earthiums to make wax as well, so it'll be interesting to see, is it more efficient for wax to do the caro nuts or the waxy earthiums? The caro nuts do take practically 2 days to grow, so I'm wondering if like each craft of wax from caro nuts produces more, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And yeah, I have no clue where to look for. Ooh. Okay, that's just regular gravel. It looks like where Kathy, or Kippy was making the refined gravel. I'm not seeing any on the shelves. Havoc 40K, hey, hello. How's the update been so far? Loving it so far. Got a decent amount of crops set up. It's kind of all like a rough work in progress, but oh, thanks for the follow. And yeah, the exotic earth yams are really hard to find, but I got them optimized to make seeds, so hopefully they'll very slowly expand. But loving the lighting. I got a lava waterfall now. I'll probably switch it back to water, but you know, this was my original plan from the beginning, was to do lava here instead of water. It's just only now been possible. You know, the lava's not terrible. If I keep it, though, I'll switch out this ancient corruption for something, because it's like a little too busy, that setup, but been a lot of fun so far. Special guy Eric, how's it going? Yeah, I'm installing update now. I haven't even gotten to look at it yet. Aw. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I was looking for refined gravel. I think I'm just gonna have to bust it out of the floor. I suppose I should make room for it. Yeah, I don't need the rock. Shh, don't tell Kippy. Oh, that's an axe now. Yeah. Oh. Oops. I'm flooding the workshop. Okay, that should be enough to get us started. Yeah, 112. We only have 50 to plant, so. And what can we put in its place? I guess we can just get some refined stone. Oh, that's convenient. It just flows right into that little groove right there. And where do you find petroleum? The new liquids are found exclusively on exoworlds. So I forget which is which, but there is a logic to it, I suppose. I think they're counted as a resource. In the new fluids, you can put them in an atlas and hunt them down, and luck will also affect the drop of them. So you want to break them with a fluid breaker tool, and you'll get more than one piece per source block that you break. So, ooh, it's not giving me any information. So yeah, I'd have to look at, let's see here, petroleum, or the primordial resin is, I found it on lush exoplanets, but you can also find it on, I guess metal worlds. The petroleum was found on coal worlds and the luminous worlds, if I remember correctly. But yeah, only exo worlds. So. So here, let's put that lock up. And maybe some of this dirt and leaves. Then pull out some random refined stone, because it's kind of, you just use it as kind of cannon fodder. Is there anything special you need to go to the exo worlds? Just warp augments and some... you don't even have to have warp conduits. But it just depends on the level that you're going to, because you can go to a low-level exo world and, you know, be just fine. If you want to go to like a luminous world, you might need either a stealth spec to kind of survive or some special weaponry. If you're just going to mine, you really just need the appropriate tools to mine on that planet, which might be, you know, you could just use a tier 6 hammer and a strength brew to be able to one-shot the rock, or you can just use a really fast tool and resign yourself to the fact that you're gonna, you know, have to two-shot the rock. You know, there's lots of different ways of going about it. So it really depends on, you know, the planet you're going to and what you want to do there. If you're wanting to go hunting, that's probably going to be the most gear-intensive thing you can do on an exo world, because you're going to need a really nice sling bow, probably some healing potions or healing bombs, something, maybe some food to help keep you alive, etc., etc. As far as like mining and gathering resources, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's a decent amount of control, maybe the stealth epic, and you can basically ignore most of the creatures. Oh, yeah, you'll need coin to be able to open up the warp, but if you gather the right stuff, you can usually make your coin back pretty easily. Selling either particular colors of blocks or the resources that you gather if you're going after the luminous materials. Or just go gather some growth and throw it in the crystal minter before you go and get a couple thousand coin that way. Okay, so we got our refined gravel. Yeah, leave a block, make this happy, and a helper block for the next crop, and how about there? Oops. Let's see here, I'm just trying to find things to do, try to keep my interest in playing. Go play in a few, I might pop by your place and just say hi. Okay, cool. So yeah, the exo worlds are pretty interesting in that there's no world regeneration, so like as players explore it, it's like the entire planet just becomes cratered with meteors everywhere. It's kind of crazy. And it gives you a new appreciation for just how often the meteors do drop. When, you know, every single meteor survives and doesn't regenerate, and etc., etc. What are we doing? Oh yeah, the combustion fraction. That gives us, right off the bat, 70% seed yield, 120% crop yield. Likes to be planted in the refined gravel, check. Lava, and oh yeah, ancient corruption. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. So now we're down to 0% crop yield, but we're up to 90% seed yield. We can chisel this, start putting in some lava, see if we can at least get a small chance to get a output. Oh, we got Okay, so it maxes out at 110%. So do you have to search the sky for the exo worlds, or are they announced? You pretty much have to search the skies. The Portal Seeker Discord had a bot that would announce them, but I think it's broken for the time being. Oh, I think I'm burning torches. It's like, why is it getting dark all of a sudden? Yeah, lava will now burn torches if it gets too close. I guess the question is, what's the other thing? Oh, no, okay. We don't have that. Compact combustion particle. Oh, high octane, that's the other fertilizer. So yeah, let's just optimize this for making seeds for the time being. Oh, perfect. So you do have to... Oh, that's the same comment. Oh, so Bryce is saying they're usually announced on the forums when found, with most of the planet's info as well. Yeah, Gorilla Stomp. There we go. Yeah, I've been holding out for a particular color of stone. I think it's, I've been saying light tan, which apparently is on Gallon, but that is actually the wrong name for the color that I'm wanting. I think it's pale tan or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look in the Sanctum edit again to figure out the name, but you know, I'll usually look at his posts and it's like, nope, still no pale tan or whatever color it is. Oh, how's it going, Chadworthy? It's from 10 weeks, 53 weeks. So yeah, we need some gleam. Oh, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 3 days, 18 hours. That's better. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for good measure. There we go. All of them have the same growth time. Perfect. Oh yeah, Jefferson saying awesome detail putting the liquid in the half cube. From all my Minecraft days, I never would have thought of that. Yeah, it's kind of a nice little pro tip there of, you know, you could squeeze basically two things in the same block space to make a more compact whatchamajigger. Can there be too much light? There can be too much light in the sense that the inorganic farming does not like sunlight. It has to be grown by gleam light. But as far as all the organic farming, there is no too much light. So, but then everything can be grown by gleam light, so that's why I have this kind of gaping chasm down here. It's like, well, if I have to grow some of it underground, let's just grow all of it underground, and then I don't have to worry about cuddle trunks or anything coming by and messing with me. Because I don't really have the above ground area in a way that's safe. So I'd have to like beacon every single tree and leaf block, and yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Let's see here. Good stream, man. Very educational. Have fun with it. Oh, thanks. Okay. So really just missing kindling mass. That's only found on exo worlds. I think I do have, yeah, I have 3 juicy starberry seeds. Guess we could, there's not really a reason to grow those. They make the high jump foods, and I don't know, they're really fun to use, but just not really necessary for anything. Don't really need rice. It wouldn't be a horrible idea to do regular earth yams. I have such a stockpile of earth yams that it's kind of like, why? Did we already set up? I think we're, yeah, we don't really have a whole bunch of tangle. Lava spark, you cannot turn lava into spark, unfortunately. But, you know, if you could do that, it would probably, you know, make every other fuel in the game obsolete. So, kind of makes sense. But, yeah, no renewable energies just yet. Other than, you know, you can grow combustion fraction, that's sort of renewable. Somebody's asking, what is the best fuel for spark? That is really personal preference. It's whatever you don't mind gathering. Some people really like to use compacted peat. It's a great fuel. It's really easy to get, but if you do a lot of, say, diamond mining, then you're probably going to get oodles and goodles of hard coal, and that's, you know, at least up until this point, has been the most energy-dense fuel in the game. Now with the combustion fraction and kindling mass, you can take that hard, compact coal and refine it and infuse it and enrich it further. With the new crops, you can mix it with combustion fraction to boost the amount of spark, and then you can enrich it with kindling mass to make it burn essentially faster and with a modest increase in spark value as well. So, but as far as what's the best for just getting spark quickly and you know, efficiently, it's whatever it is that you don't mind gathering. So you could just use combustion fraction outright, you know, throw it in the compactor and compact it, and probably do just fine if you like to farm. If you don't like farming and you don't like mining, then compacted peat is probably your best option. You can even just chop down trees and use that for spark. That's probably would be my least favorite option, but You know, there's not like, you know, use this fuel or go home type thing. You know, it's use whatever you don't mind gathering, at least in my opinion. Let's see here, you said you're looking for waxy earthium seeds? Those the exotic earthium seeds. These buggers over here, they're really hard to find. For the time being, at least. If I didn't like farming, I wouldn't be playing this game, as that's about all there is to do. Well, I mean farming in the sense of like the new actual farming mechanic, not just farming for materials in general. But I see what you mean, though. Okay, yeah, we did get oats set up, and we got flowers set up. I think we're waiting on waxy because we need silty soil, or compacted silt. There's a 125. I guess that'll get us started. I don't think we have just well, we do have 125. Oh, nice, perfect. 125 seeds, 125 compacted silt. And what is it? It just did it want to be near it, or did it want to actually be planted in it? Increases yield in tilled clay soil. Increases seed near tangle. Oh, it was the tangle. Something needed silt. Was it the oat? Increased yield in tilled PT, compacted peat. Oh, this is the one that wanted to be planted in compacted peat. Which seed stacks? I notice you have separated. Oh, that's just because one stack filled up, basically, and I've been using them, so now there's empty spaces. They should all stack together. You know, at least until the smart stack fills up. Yes, yeah, the exotic earthiums, that is the only planet that they spawn on, to my knowledge, because they only spawn on tier 4 planets, and their best planet is lush planets. And so Circopus is the only planet that meets those criteria. And for a while, I thought that they were on Delta Can Crit, but I made a mistake, and it was just for exotic earthiums, not the actual seeds for them or the bulbs. So it turns out that, yeah, it has to be a tier 4 lush planet, period. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, if they add like some exoplanets, or maybe they add another tier 4 planet, then it probably won't be that big of a deal. Not to mention, once you do get some seeds, you can prioritize making more seeds, and eventually, once you get your kind of foundation built up, then you can just ride off of that, and you don't have to go get the seeds. So it's just going to be kind of this initial setup period is going to be a little bit painful, I suppose. But you can find them by just putting an exotic earthium in the atlas. That's actually how I found the 2 plants that I did find. Oh, there's Euless. I did a spotlight on his town not too long ago. I mean, I'm assuming that's the same Euless. I didn't mean to step all over your farm. Doesn't hurt him. Here. Oh, friend request. Gillis says blank. Oh, that was interesting. There we go. He's like, are you going to turn all of this into farmland? I was like, well, probably. And like trying to supply all of Boundless with crops, I sense a monopoly in the works. But yeah, I'll probably do all of this for crops, but then the area up here might be crafting overflow. At least coming out this side. And probably will eventually rip all of this junk out over here and bring it down to this level. This was never meant to be permanent. It was just like, oh, I need a space to do a chisel video, so I hollowed this out and did the chisel video, made these gears. I kind of messed it up right there. I guess I can fix it now. I have a chisel in my hand. And oh yeah, I did a roofing tutorial here as well. Bling Club tutorial. Do colorful signs. So, kind of bugging me. What was it that needed silt? I mean, that uses some silt, but I don't know. I'm sure I'll figure it out later and go like, really? Why was I not seeing that? I guess it could be something that I've already planted all of it. That's probably what it is. So here, that's the Karu nuts. Yeah, it's probably... Well, no, it's not the ancient oats, because I do have... Or I thought I had. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Well, we got the crops set up. I guess we could look into crafting some of the new machines, but until we have exo worlds, it's kind of pointless, as they're used for making and using the dyes. So yeah, I guess we'll probably go ahead and end the stream here. I need to take a nap. I've been awake for quite a while. But anyway, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, check out my Patreon channel. Messed that one up. But yeah, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.